Hey, what's up, people? Interesting day today. Once again, remember, have to be quiet. As quiet is the way to go. Let me check my telephone here.
But recently, yeah, even for our channel, because we would like just strictly, at the time, we were just strictly just hot sauce. So now we put into the barbecue segment where
watching some of my hot sauce people.
We're just seeing everyday guys who love hot things and reviewing for businesses and sharing another aspect of helping businesses in other ways. So, can you hear me now? Is everything good? Yeah,
Alright, let's turn this off. Because actually tonight was or today I should say rather, was a pretty interesting evening, day, whatever you want to call it. There was actually some, I guess you could call paranormal activity. Now, I know some people don't believe in it. That's understandable. I'm not saying that, you gotta believe in some shit just because I believe in it. You might not believe in that type of stuff, period. Now, it started off and all good fun. I mean, the whole point was for me to find some zombie turkeys. Gobble gobble variety. Well, I found turkeys. Excuse me. I'm doing an awful lot of work since I got here. But today, decided to take a small break from working, and I decided to explore a cemetery. Now, of course, you might say to yourself, why would you do something like that? Well, I had a couple of people that asked me to do it, so I figured, why not? Now, this is not like jumping off of a bridge or, one of those analogies that one might say, well, somebody told you to do this, would you do it? Well, it all depends. Now, let me get closer so I don't have to speak loud. So I can tell you the story. While I'm telling you the story, I'm going to draw a picture. So don't get mad. But started off normal enough. I was going to take the GoPro, but I decided against it for whatever reason. I probably should have took it because then I would have gotten the footage that I could have showed you, which would have been pretty cool. Anyway, so I get there, and it's like one way in, one way out. Now I thought there were two ways in. Played myself. Now, good thing I didn't stick around too long. It's pretty cold here today, about 30 something. When I went there, my hands were not frozen. Once I walked into the cemetery, and I want to know that these are very old gravestones. I'm not talking about like 1900. We're talking like 1820, 1815, 1819, 1905 type shit. Old. And it's a weird ass cemetery. It doesn't make any sense, half of it. It's like this stone thing that looks like it may have been a bridge over a creek at one point, but either it sunk way into the ground or it's just there for a weird purpose. Now, before I went to go, excuse me, I'm sorry. Before I went to go peep the wild zombie turkeys, I decided I would go and see what was up in this clearing area. So, you know what I did is I walked over there. I noticed like stupid stuff. Cans, a couple of pieces of clothing I didn't think too much of. And there was a book, like a school textbook. It's all wet, messed up and shit. I kind of tipped it over, trying to read it. Fell off the stone thing that it was on. Didn't think too much of it. Was walking, heard something creak or crack next to me. It was a stick, so I figured. Of course, there was nothing else there except for me and the huge family of wild turkeys that seemed to have taken up residence there without wanting to leave. And I guess it's large enough that they could kind of live in there, but it just seems strange, like, you know, turkeys living in a damn cemetery. It's weird. So, you know, I walk over there by the turkeys, and there's like these two big ass holes in the ground. Kind of weird because they're almost perfectly circular, but they haven't been dug with any kind of tools. There's like leaves in them. Like I said, if you check the IGTV video, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not making this stuff up, it's real. So, you know, I'm investigating the holes. My fingers are like frozen at this point. So I decide I'm gonna leave. So I'm backing out, safely away from the wild turkeys. I'm heading back to my destination. It's about to head back to the way I came when I saw someone else. Looked like a white girl, maybe 20 or younger. Blue jeans and a white sweatshirt. Hair tied back kind of, but I couldn't really see any facial features or anything like that. She's walking up the path that I would have to get to go back to where I came, but she was walking in the opposite direction of where I came, so I'm thinking she must know another way out of here. Because if you walk in here, there's really no point in walking the way she was walking to get out, because the only other exit is on the opposite side, which would be closer to the way she came in. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, mind you, there's sticks, twigs, leaves, types of stuff that you walk on and makes noise when you walk on it. You know, like crunches, crackles, pops, like I was when I was walking through the grass and shit. But yeah, no, I'm not paying too much attention to it because she looked like a person. So I'm walking in the direction I see her walk because I figure, oh, that big gate that I see on this side must be open. I'll go that way because that's going closer towards the way I'm heading back to. Needless to say, I start walking. Now, mind you, like I said, it's crunchy noise, but she's not making any noise. But I don't really pay attention to it. I figure, hey, maybe she's walking lightly. So, I must have been maybe 10 feet behind her, 20 at most. Stop for a second. I don't remember if it was to check my shoe or look at another old gravestone that said like 1799. I was like, holy shit, that's like 300 years. Almost, kind of. Not really. It's like 200 and change, but it's a lot of years, you know, for someone to have been dead sitting in this ground, and here I am walking past like some ancient history. So, as I looked back up, didn't notice the girl there. So I'm figuring, she must have gone out the gate, right? She had to have. So, you know, I go up to the gate. It's locked. All of them. Chain locked. Big padlocks. Huge. She didn't lock them recently because these locks were rusted. And I mean the kind of rusted that you don't usually see on stainless steel unless it's been hanging there for quite some time and somehow the stainless has come off the steel. So, I immediately look to my left where the path that goes down into the little valley is. There's no one there. The only other way to go is not on a path. It goes towards gravestones and then down a small hill. But it's a big, huge clearing, so if you're at the top of this hill, you can clearly see most of, if not all of the area she would have walked in. So, of course, I walk up, see if I see her anywhere. I don't. At which point I realize that I have two choices. I can either A, go back to the gate that I came in, which, at this current point in time, I didn't feel like doing that. I wanted to get out of this cemetery, even more so than I did before. Mind you, it's cold. I'm not gonna pretend that it wasn't cold, but it wasn't cold enough for my hands to feel as if they were going to be frostbitten. It got so cold that I literally had to end the video. I was gonna walk home live, but no. My hands were too cold. Couldn't even smoke my blunt. It just wouldn't stay lit. Cigar wouldn't stay lit. Nothing would stay lit. The lighter didn't even want to work. It was weird. I didn't think too much of it though. You know, I figure it's windy, it's cold. Shit like that doesn't work when it's windy and it's cold, right? No. So, I'm walking back. And I noticed something, right? The book that I had moved off the corner of the little thing, like pushed it off, it was back on. In the same exact location as it was, which is weird because the girl walked up past where I was. So she would have had to run down the hill, make a whole bunch of noise, put the book back in the exact spot, and then disappear without me seeing her at all or hearing. So, it was at that point that I decided I was not walking back to the gate that I came in, because you have to pass a whole row of really old gravestones that don't even have names. They say like mother and father and here lies, and you can't see what the rest of it says, or even if they're male or female. Just indescript stone with carvings, maybe a few dates, but I didn't see very many names. It was weird. And I mean, these are the old stones. They might be the size of a thick book. Not very thick like the ones of today. And then there was one that was like leant over. Now mind you, this isn't even half of this creepy ass cemetery. It's not even half. I've already been asked by a couple of people to maybe go back, investigate a little bit more. Which, hey, I'm down for that. As long as it's in the daytime and it's not cold. Because if it's in the daytime and it's not cold, I can bring a thermometer or something and prove my point that the temperature drops in certain parts of that fucking cemetery. Now, of course, when somebody told me about the wild turkey thing, the whole thing yesterday with the wild turkey shit was just a joke. I wasn't really expecting there to be zombie turkeys or a haunted cemetery. Cemeteries are not generally places that I feel are necessarily haunted. It's a resting place, so you would figure they would just be dead or somewhere else, right? But I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if I think that the girl I saw in that cemetery is necessarily buried properly in that cemetery. I'll tell you why. The little thing, the stone, whatever it is, you could actually push something under it. I tried to get close to it with my camera and, kind of try to get the camera angle to see inside. But it's dark. What's funny is you can go from one side of it to the other, I imagine, if I was stupid enough to try to crawl through there. But I wasn't going to do that. So I think there might be something special about that particular spot. Like I said, the girl was wearing modern day clothes. Regular jeans, regular shirt. Nothing to make me think that maybe she came from another time period. And most of the stones in that freaking graveyard were from... They've been dead 200 years, some of them. 200 fucking years at least. You feel what I'm saying? At least. So, my whole thing on that is, if what I saw was not a human being, it was a ghost, it would beg to be that perhaps one night, cutting through the old cemetery, it's possible. It's possible that maybe she met with foul play. Maybe she was smashed in the face, since, like I said, I couldn't see any facial features, and I was close enough to at least make out a nose or eyes or something, lips, chin. No, just head. Just basically the shape of a head. But like I said, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And see, as you saw when I was walking, people generally spoke. Nobody really just walked by without saying anything. So it would seem odd that in a place like a cemetery, you wouldn't at least just acknowledge the human presence, just so you can know that the person is human. I don't know. It was an oddness that kind of, well, I'd say it sent a chill down my spine, but it was windy and cold, so there really was no chill to be sent. I was already chilled. But as I was walking, I kind of got this real weird feeling. Because immediately, upon being at least a block away from this cemetery, my hands were no longer numb. I could feel them. It wasn't as cold. Which is why I want to go back. I want to go back. At the same exact time, too. It's around noonish. You know, see, not everything happens at night. I think a lot happens during the daytime, and you figure since it's daytime, it's normal. You always see people walking around in the daytime. It's nighttime, things become scary. And, you know, our eyes don't really function in darkness. The cones and rods don't see color when there's a lack of light. So basically everything is truly shades of black and gray. So, you know, everything's going to look scary. And let's not forget that there's a whole bunch of turkeys. So, any noises that you hear or movement that you may or may not see can be totally attributed to wild turkeys, right? You know, I can throw a rock at one of them and you'll hear this noise in the distance, and I'll breeze by a dark brown shape, and you'll all be like, oh my God, there's tons of these ghosts there. And I don't know that there's a huge giant pack of wild turkeys. But I don't want to do that. I want you to see, if you see what I saw, if I see what I saw again. It'd be interesting. Because you know something? Nobody else came in the damn cemetery. I was walking in there and people actually looked at me like I was strange for going in there. Considering the fact that, like I said, it doesn't seem that anybody is buried there anymore. It's just one of those old ass memorial cemeteries. It's just there. It's like a monument or a park. A weird park. Park to death. To commemorate it or whatever. No, I'm serious. I'm a little nervous. Playing the scary music to kind of like take the edge off, as they say. You know. But I will admit, since my newfound freedom, I've not had the urge to poison myself with certain substances, one of those being alcohol. I've increased my grainage intake, which has done wonders. Fruits, smoothies daily. And a blueberry one today was absolutely delicious. A little bit of sherbet, lemon, and raspberry sherbet. Oh God, it was good. Then later on I had some banana smoothie shake. Potassium and antioxidants flush the system, keep me healthy. Skin is starting to get better. I feel great, you know, in such good moods, but I still cannot forget what it is that I saw today. And there are many more of these really creepy places around this city. Strange. Abandoned buildings, burnt out things, fields, underground river places, death. Now, I want to provide you all with decent entertainment. I mean, you don't come here to watch me go crazy and flip out. But you do like entertainment. We all like entertainment. What type of entertainment is better than the type of entertainment that scares the shit out of you? At least enough for you to want to be scared. You want to be terrified. Terrified is terrible. Terrible. Oh, God, it's terrible. But I'm figuring, now that I have a few of you here, why not try bringing the GoPro next time? Bring that. Have everybody chillax a bit, and we'll do something a little bit better. I don't know, maybe I'll bring a stick and throw it at the figure when it walks. Now, if it goes through her, then obviously she's an ethereal being, not of this world. But what if she's a normal person? She just wears the same thing every time I see her because I'm not really paying attention to what day it is, and maybe she just doesn't like to wear anything but jeans and a white shirt. It's possible. There's people like that. Cartoon characters wear the same clothes every day. So, some shows, kids wear the same stuff every single day. Remember Vicky the robot? I forget the name of the show. I think it was, what's the name of that goddamn show? Well, y'all know the show. She wore a little white and red dress, fucking ponytail or pigtails or whatever. She was a little robot, strong, and she did stuff. It was funny. She had like a back and put cassette tapes or something in it. It was weird. It's always weird when they did like anything beyond just having her be cute and do kid robot shit. Small Wonder. That was the name of it. Small Wonder. See how that came back to me. Anyway, though. Back to what I was saying. Now what happens, pray tell, if when I throw the stick or other solid object at said figure, what if it actually hits her? And then, I have to run through a cemetery disrespecting graves and, like, how do you explain that one to the police? Like, I'm sorry, officer. I thought she was a ghost, so I threw a rock at her. I didn't mean to hit her in the face. At the time, from where I was standing, it looked as if she had no face, so I kind of thought that to throw it at an object that didn't seem to exist to me might, kind of clarify things. Which it did. When it hit her in the face, she fell and she started screaming and shit. It just so happened to be some passers-by. Tried to run, didn't work. Got tripped, fell on the gravestone, mashed my face. It was terrible. Didn't like it at all. Mad as fuck. Girls screaming, cops coming. I'm running, trying to get away. Don't know where I'm going though, because I'm not from here, so I go out the wrong side. Like a jackass. It's terrible. It's terrible. And then come to find out, right, after all the hullabaloo, noise and screaming and yelling, pretending she got hit in the face with a rock, she ends up really being a ghost. And a fucked up one at that. Like, how do you get over being set up in a prank by a ghost? You go back there and you let that ghost know that you're not too happy with this. Got me looking like a fool, which I do pretty good at doing that all by myself. I don't need much help. I don't appreciate being tricked into getting myself into the kind of trouble that I found myself in. So I ran away fast. Like I said, found out not a ghost. Was a ghost, not a real girl. So, either tomorrow, or maybe even Monday. I think Monday might be a better day. Monday because I'll have made a little money then. I think I'm gonna buy something like a pair of blue jeans and a white t-shirt. I'm gonna hide in some bushes. Actually, I'm gonna hide in one of those holes, right? I'm gonna put flour all over me so I look pale and ghostly, pasty. I'm gonna hide there all day. I'll hide there all day and I'm gonna have a camera set up somewhere so I can see when somebody walks in. And I'm gonna do some really scary shit. Now, I probably shouldn't because this is an open carry state. I might fuck around and get shot because I figure like, well, popped about the ground, he's probably dead. Even though shooting him might not kill him, he's dead. So if I do shoot him and he dies again, they can't really arrest me for killing him because he's dead. Unless somehow he comes back to life before I shoot him and then he dies from me shooting him. And I guess that would be murder, but if he was dead to begin with, you see the confusion? It's a confusing situation. Like, do you kill dead people if they get up? And is it murder or is it not murder? Can't be murder if you're already dead. I'm gonna ponder this one for a little while because now I'm confused. Killing and dying and killing, and turkeys in graveyards, and chicks in jeans and white shirts pretending to be ghosts, cops chasing me around for rock throwing of ghosts that pretends to be human, how they screamed and yelled for someone to hear them, and how they even knew the rock was going to hit them in the face. Would they materialize themselves just right on the cheek so it's like bounced off of them? I don't think so. It was a setup from the beginning. You know, I had been talking about going to the cemetery since the day before, so it's not like they didn't know I wasn't coming. I mean, come on, they're ghosts. Ghosts hear shit. They're like, they got better Wi-Fi than everybody else. I mean, they got the best of Wi-Fi. I don't know what they call it. I'm not dead, so I'm just going to assume that they have wavelengths that we can't kind of listen to or see. They were sure ready for my ass when I came in here. I told you it made me cold, and the bitch scared me, told me things. Yes, she spoke to me before I hit her in the face with the rock. That's kind of why I hit her in the face with the rock. I didn't want to tell you that. I knew she was a ghost. I knew she was going to do what she said she was going to do. She told me she was going to do it. She said she was going to do it. She said, why are you in the fucking graveyard messing with shit? Did anybody tell you to touch that fucking book? I'm like, yo, word up. Number one, you're being a little brolic. The language is unnecessary. I'm just investigating like I'm a paranormal guy, you know. Admire those guys. I think they're brave to go into the woods and pretend to see stuff and convince people otherwise that they've seen things. It's always the same thing, too. It's like a shadow, peeking. Why are they peeking? I would really like to know this. If you're dead, you know you're dead because you're a shadow, obviously. You like scaring people. But why peek? I mean, like, why not just, like, jump out? Walk through a person. You know, see, people would hate for me to be a ghost. I'd be the worst ghost. I'd just be like a total asshole ghost. You know, I'm not even gonna say the things I would do as a ghost because they're just fucked up, terrible things. I mean, you're dead, and of course, if you're dead and you're stuck between being completely dead and watching live people live, you're gonna be a hater, right? I mean, come on. That's like you and some person doing the same thing. Oh, God. I'll tell you one thing, people. There's one thing that sucks. It is the effects, the after effects of fucking COVID. I'm not even doing anything but telling you guys a fucking story, and I'm fucking winded. It's either that, or that little fucking ghost bitch did some shit after I hit her in the fucking face with the rock besides almost getting me in trouble. I'm telling you, my hands feel weird now. I don't know what it is. I think she might have followed me. Though I haven't seen her around. Nothing lurking in the corners. But I do feel a little off. It's a little odd. I've been drawing weird circle shapes today. Stars and triangles and circles. They don't mean anything to me, but my hand seems to be moving intently to draw them. It's starting to make me nervous, and I don't understand it. I mean, I'd show you. This is what this thing, I've drawn this. I've drawn this pattern several times. It just keeps popping up in front of my face. Ever since that moment when that rock smacked the ghost's face. I don't know why, it just won't stop. It's frightening. I see visions now. Visions of a big rock scrolled on the ground. It's like drew circles in the dirt. And there's like a kid, maybe an old man. He's got a hood over his face. It's a big hood. You can't see him. It's like dark. He's talking. Blah, 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 blah. His hands kind of wrinkled and old looking. Sharp, unkept nails. Dirty fingernails. It's gross. Ugh. But I see this in vision. There's two people standing beside him. What at least look like people, also in robes. But as they approach the young girl, who's minding her own business, it seems, she's reading a book, an algebra book, studying for a test. She's supposed to go to school, but she skipped because she thought she was going to fail the test. She's sitting on this rock. She's not thinking about the fact that there are these three things that are creeping up on her. You know? The man speaks. Hey, girl, what are you doing here? It's almost time for you to go home. You've been sitting here all day. I've watched you. Shouldn't you have been in school? She talked about her test and why she was reading the algebra book. And she'll take the makeup test and she'll make it up. And she talked about family, and she wasn't paying attention as the man and his two sidekicks got closer and closer. They walked up. One of them started to draw the circles into the ground, while the other one went inside of a small little burlap sack and grabbed a small length of rope and a hammer, 3 nails. 3 ugly wooden nails, big, for like driving a stake into the ground for holding up a tent or some shit like that. Anyway, once these circles had drawn, he ordered the 2 of them to drag her, stake her to her hands to certain circles. It's a weird pattern. It's an 8-pointed star. Star of chaos, they called it. Well, he spoke some words over her. She was terrified. She was terrified. She knew. They put her book down, still open to the same page that I found it open to, even though it had been soaked and windy the past few days. For some strange reason, this book stayed on this very page. Even when I pushed the book off the damn stone shit, it stayed open to that same fucking page. Now, mind you, I told you I left. When I came back down the way, it had somehow been put back into place. So tomorrow when I go back, or the next day, I'm going to read what is on that page. Because I'm curious as to what the last thing this girl read was. Will it give us a hint to the ghost girl of Valley Cemetery? Or will it give us more questions than answers? More questions than answers is often the case in things like these. I did my research. Looked up cases in Valley Cemetery. Were there bodies found? I mean, obviously there's bodies in the cemetery, but I wanted to know if there were any bodies that were found in the cemetery that weren't necessarily supposed to be there. So I started digging. I did a little questioning around, asked anybody if they heard things. Of course, you get the shh, don't ask. The shady people, go-betweens, alleys. There's a lot of alleys in the city. So So I started walking through the back alleys because usually that's where you hear stuff. In the back alleys. But I was told if I really wanted to know, if I really wanted to know, well, to return to the cemetery on the 3rd at 3:33 p.m. And to the book, read the page, and at the end, say Azazel twice. One more time for good measure in case he doesn't hear you, because he's a deaf motherfucker. But then he will tell you the story of the torturous things that he does to those who wander into his dimension, which opens up ever so often, right in the center of Valley Street Cemetery. How many lives has he claimed? How many others walk that cemetery? Through gates that are closed and locked. Trapped forever, roaming in a place that they don't belong, a body buried in unhallowed ground. Around ancient souls that can't stand them now. I'm pretty sure they're tired of these youngsters drinking beers and belching and doing all types of graffiti and shit. I mean, I'd be mad if I was a ghost. I'd fuck some shit up. But this girl, I believe she was innocent. At least her spirit seems to give me the impression of innocence at one time before she was corrupted by Azazel. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow after I come back from investigating the tale and the story, the ghost girl of Valley Cemetery. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Those of you who did. Those of you who watch this later, check my Instagram if you think that I didn't go to a cemetery that has turkeys and large holes in the book. It's true. I may have embellished some of the facts. Of course, I didn't throw a rock at a ghost girl and smack her in the face, but there was a girl there that miraculously disappeared into the middle of nowhere in a cemetery with one entrance and one exit, both far away from where she was. In a place filled with leaves and broken twigs that made no noise whatsoever, although I was making enough noise for 1 million people. Maybe you can hear the lack of other footsteps. But, of course, in the video I was trying to do something and didn't get any straight-on shots. So like I said, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. But I'm going back to that cemetery and I'm going to investigate it. Yes, I am. We're going to see what we can see in the daytime. I'm not doing any more nighttime investigations because if anything pops up on my camera, it's more apt to be true. Your mind is going to tell you see all types of shit at night because you're afraid. During the daytime, you're a lot clearer in mind. So, start watching the videos. Maybe you'll see something that I'm not looking for. Because I'm not looking for anything. We're just gonna roam, record, and hope for the best. As long as it's not something like you guys point out, oh my god, Omen, there's something behind you. Because you know what? I'm not gonna look. I'll look in the screen and then I'll see that it's behind me and I'm just gonna look at the screen. And I'm gonna hope that whatever it is leaves me alone. It doesn't try to do any ghosty stuff. But if it tries to do ghosty stuff, I'm not quite sure what it is that I would do. Can't hit it. Can't throw anything at it. Can't run from it. Or maybe you could run. I just usually was just yell. Ah! I don't know why. It usually works though. It usually works. Well, thank you all for joining me on a freaking Saturday. Or is it a Friday? Well, it was a Friday and now it's Saturday. Oh yeah, before I leave, I just want to say something about the chili and hot sauce crowd had a nice night tonight. It was fucking awesome. Did this show called Double Burns. Stairs, Chili Heads. A lot of people came in there. So, we had Taco Vato, and George, and there was this dude named Nugs, Nuke Nugs or Nugs, do Nugs, not do drop Nugs, not Nukes. That's his name. Drop Nugs. This dude smokes like a fucking chimney. He did a dab to his fucking nose. I'm not joking with you. And then this dude, Lemonade, he ate like some type of chocolate bar that was so hot. I mean, here's the love in the Chili family. Let me just tell you the love real quick. I think I might talk another 15 minutes about Chili people. Tommy Scoville, freaking Butt Burns came there. The John, son of a John, Sauce, who hit me to this, he came. And Scoville Slayers told me about the after party, and they're like on the after party right now. These people, and when I tell you they're fools, I want you to look at this. I'm going to show you. Look at these guys. These guys. This is these guys. Let me get my camera right so you can see this. Here's these people. The guy on the bottom, I believe that's Mr. Nugs. I don't know the guy in the hood. I think that might be Chris something. And there's George over here. And not sure who that's. Mr. Chili. Yeah, his shirt says it, so that's who he is. These people are insane. They're insane. They eat peppers like they're candy, which I love because I eat peppers like they're candy. And they're cool people. Dude's gonna do startup stuff. It's awesome. Kid, I'm gonna tell him that, and of course there's not really anybody watching me. And now the damn thing is running off. See, here they are. Yeah, once again, I don't know if they're gonna say anything. You can't hear them, but it's all good. Oh yeah, they're 10 minutes before they get shut down. But back to the Chili people. Chili people they're cool people. Terry's Hots, Heat Dealers, the Heat Elite Ones, Craven Capsaicin, Bonnie Sauce, Johnny Scoville, Tommy Scoville, Chase the Heat. I've mentioned them several times. Great people. These are all good people. Hot Saucy Monkey, Butthole Burner, Spicy Butthole, Heatin' with Jay, Chili Guru. What up, Tanya? I was just sitting here talking about my experience with a potential ghost today. It was a little crazy. And then I was talking about the fun I had with the Chili crowd. Went to a couple of live things over on Instagram. I hit 100 today. I was pretty stoked about that. I'm not exactly sure what that milestone means, but for whatever strange reason, I'm ecstatic. I'm at 104 now. So it was a good day promoting pepper stuff and doing a little ghost thing. Went to see turkeys because I found it really weird that there's a huge pack of turkeys, wild ones obviously, that live in the middle of a very, very old cemetery. And when I say very old, I mean 200 years old. Yes, I used to, from the home I came from the place which I have traveled. It was very haunted where I used to live. Where I grew up was terribly haunted. And yeah, it was just bad. Bad. That basement, my basement was one of the scariest places I've ever been in my life. Now that you're here, I will tell you a story about my basement. Yep. I'm going to put on scary music for it too. Scary music and stories about basements always go hand in hand. Now, I don't want to hear this commercial, but kind of stuck with that. Now, this stuff says royalty free. I always use this particular guy for music because I like his music. But, if they say, oh, copyright shit, fuck, whatever, I don't care. I'm not trying to make money doing this. I just like doing it. It's fun. Now, that's crazy, Tanya. In your backyard. Yeah. Not necessarily in my backyard. I live close to one. But see, the thing about New Haven is like one big giant cemetery. They've moved stuff around like so many times. I mean, New England. I don't know if you're familiar with New England. If you are, then you know New England is old as shit. It's like the oldest part of the country. So granted, it has a lot of really dark history, especially the areas around the universities like Harvard and Yale and all that shit. Most of these places, most of this land, some of it was bought from the natives that lived there at the time to help them fight their wars and such. The Quinnipiacs versus the Pequots. It's a huge war in Connecticut. And the colony of New Haven sided with the Quinnipiac, which helped push the Pequot way up into where Foxwoods and Norwich and shit is. Yes. See, I did tell a story about this, but I never posted it, and I decided that all the stories that I have from before this journey started, I was just going to get rid of, because I don't want to see myself like that. So I got rid of them. But I do have stories. And there's a graveyard in New Haven. It's called the Grove Street Cemetery. And if I remember correctly, you can look it up. It is the oldest cemetery in the United States of America. Oh yes, founding fathers of this country are buried there. I mean, they've been burying people there since I think the earliest grave may be the 1500s or 1600s. I'm not 100% sure. But downtown was built on top of Indian burial ground land. Things were moved, some stuff wasn't. Things were built on top of. One year a tree was blown out of the ground, and under it were graves. Well, not graves, bones. Bones. There were bones under it. I don't know if I told you guys this story before. I'm not sure. But there were bones in the tree. Like 2 or 3 skeletal remains. And they flipped out. They closed the whole area off. It was weird. Like nobody was there. They found out obviously the bones were from like the 1600s, so obviously it wasn't a murder now, but could they have been murdered back in the day? New Haven has history. It was a year once. I think it might have been 2 years ago. It's a mass overdose. I remember I was delivering meat. I used to work at a meat processing plant, so I made sausage and hamburger and shit like that, and I would, after processing meat all morning long, would load up a truck and deliver it to restaurants and shit like that. And I remember the day because I had downtown New Haven, which I hated. It was a pain in the ass getting in and out of downtown New Haven on a regular day. But no, I picked the worst day to not finish on time and have my truck loaded properly because assholes don't help. And I had to go out there at the height of 80 fucking overdoses. Now you say to yourself, how do 80 people overdose Simultaneously, I still can't answer that question. The story was, and this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But here's the story. That some guy with some K2 or bath salts or whatever other fake designer weed crap that people were smoking. Anyhow, supposedly this dude was just walking around downtown giving away free samples. Just free samples. Now, the reason I find this to be oddly strange, because how, if he's walking around, New Haven Green is pretty big. It's one of the oldest greens. Yeah, I think it might have been Tanya. It was one of the oldest greens in the country. In fact, New Haven's grid pattern, the way the city was laid out, was the first of its type. That's why New Haven is a very old city. Other city planning was done based off of New Haven. New Haven wasn't even a part of fucking United States when this happened. It used to be its own colony. It wasn't until like the 1800s, I believe, closer to the Civil War, when New Haven finally became part of the rest of Connecticut. I mean, we used to have two capitals, and then New Haven eventually became the capital, and then Hartford for whatever stupid reason. Probably because of Colt, I would guess. Colt, the manufacturer of guns, probably took over from Winchester, and they decided. But either way, New Haven has a lot of really dark-ass history. I could tell you tons of stories about fucking New Haven's hauntings. Whether you believe me or not is your choice. But, yeah, I tell you, New England, it's got crazy history. It just does. Well, actually, most of the United States does. I mean, let's just think about it. Our country is a country of conflict. One conflict after another, whether it be between groups of families or wars between the North and South, or East and West, or however the fuck it wants to go down. There's just a lot of tumultuous and turmoil that's happened across this land, whether it be by the fault of this country or not. Shit happens. Let's think of all the shit that happened before it was a country. I mean, you know, let's go back history. It's terrible, terrible, terrible things. I'm sure terrible things. But yeah, it's paranormal stuff. I believe and I don't believe. I believe in certain shit. I believe that there's spirits, and I believe that maybe they do get trapped depending on how they pass away. Like, I think if someone dies suddenly without expecting it to happen, that they may get trapped in a loop, or their energy may not dissipate properly because it didn't have the chance to leave. It was snatched out, so it doesn't, it doesn't separate from its consciousness. I know it sounds like a whole bunch of fucking mumbo jumbo and dumb shit, and trust me, I haven't read any books on it. This is just where I kind of think it might happen. I know something really interesting did happen today at the cemetery. I'm curious to go back and find out if I'm crazy, if I didn't see what I thought I saw, and if the book really was back where I thought it was. Because if it was back on top of the structure that I threw it off of, how did it get there when I saw no one put it there? That's the question. Now, the girl walking could simply have been, I don't know, maybe she jumped the fence. But like I said, I would have seen her. I would have heard her at least. But let's just say maybe she did. I can be skeptical. But it still doesn't explain why my hands got so damn cold that I just really could not keep recording because my freaking fingers were numb as shit. It was weird. It was really weird. I was concerned. Actually, I left there, and like I said, my hands got warm again. So, I don't know if maybe it was, I don't know what it was, but it was something that was not something that I'm used to. And the last time that I went roaming through a cemetery, I was, oh God, 5 or 6. It was a school trip. They took us to the Grove Street Cemetery, oldest cemetery in the country. Like I said, bodies from like 1400s, 1500s. Most of them soldiers in the wars against the Indians and war of the Revolution and Civil War. I mean, there's a lot of dead war bodies in that goddamn shit. It's crazy. Then there's a lot of unmarked Native American graves everywhere. War. There was a huge war throughout Connecticut back in the day when they, it was a colony. It was like a fucking war zone. Connecticut's seen its fair share of shit. Don't let people fool you. Connecticut's not some hoity-toity nice place. Most of it is either rural, suburban, and then you have your urban centers. But for the most part, Connecticut is a very rural state. You think rural unless you think south. No. I'm trying to tell you. Up north rural shit is very rural. I mean, you don't go there. You don't even think about going there. And it does not matter what color you are. You just don't go there if you're not from there. You just don't do it. I've done it. You don't do it. You don't. Like Vermont. They can fucking have Vermont. I don't want anything to do with Vermont. We're straight. Went up there once, me and a few people. We're a mix, different colors. So it wasn't a racial thing. They just did not like our kind, whatever that meant. Young people, maybe it was the way we dressed. I'm not exactly sure. I think there may have been a homosexual person with us at the time. I don't really remember. All I do know is they literally told us they would not serve our kind. I was floored. And then I heard her make mention that they're not from around here to some dude. And I immediately said, let's get in the car and get the fuck out of here, because they wanted it to be some wrong turn type shit where, you're driving, it's dark. There's no street lights in a lot of these northern towns because they don't believe in light pollution, which also means they don't believe in you seeing where the fuck you're going. And if you do not know where you are, you will get lost. And when you're in rural places, you're either on the main road or you're on somebody else's fucking property. That's pretty much how it works. Property in which somebody can easily dispose of your body and your vehicle if you wander too close to them. Why deal with the whole, my God, I thought, no, you're in rural country. There's no reason for you to be here. You're not visiting family. If you were visiting family, you'd probably have a good idea of where you're going. And you never know going into these rural places. You might stop, have family there. You never visited them before, but you're going to visit them for the first time. And you're like, hey, I'm here looking for the Joneses. Your dumbass doesn't realize that perhaps these northern Appalachia mountain people, any color, there's black mountain people, there's whatever people decided to go in the fucking mountains and not come out. You know why I don't know what they look like? Because I don't go in the fucking mountains to find out. They can have them. I don't want them. I don't want to get cut up to little pieces, fed to bears to keep them from, eating the people who are hiding in the mountains. I mean, let's think about it. People are missing, like, state parks and wild forests and shit. Like, what is it? I remember this one time I was looking at this story about this Canadian family. It was crazy. It was crazy. Because, I'm not saying that nothing happens in Canada, but in America, they don't really talk about anything that happens in Canada unless it's something that makes Canadians look bad. Like, then they'll talk about it. Like, oh, the mayor of Toronto's a crackhead. Like, ooh. Like anybody really cares that he's a crackhead. Why do I care? It's not affecting me. We're dying of COVID. Do you think I care if motherfucker smokes crack? Let him. Shit. Times like these, maybe we should all smoke a little. But not crack. Green weed. Have a nice glass of wine. I'm not drinking anymore. Decided that if it's not of the bubbly, meaning beer variety, and one or two at best, I'm just not trying to be fucking drinking like that. It doesn't feel good. It makes me angry. I wake up in the morning with a headache, feeling all groggy and shit. I'm not a nice person to be around when I drink. I can admit that. I don't like being around myself. I suck. Anyway. The whole paranormal, rural Connecticut, strange history, Vermont, weirdness, just a weirdness. And at, up until that point there, I had never been all over New England. I had been to Connecticut, was born and raised here, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Then finally I had made it to New Hampshire, lived up here for a little while, and visited Vermont once, didn't like it. It was one state I had never been to. But I had always heard a lot about Maine. There's two things that, when I was growing up, I knew about Maine. Poland Springs, what it means to come from Maine. I knew that. Didn't really understand what that meant. I figured they make a lot of water. Okay, that's cool. We never really drank a lot of Poland Springs. We drank Deer Park. Deer Park, that was good water. Till we started just, what up there, Spicy Nicole? Stratford's alright. You know, Connecticut is just going downhill. That's my opinion, Nicole. That's just my opinion. I've lived in it most of my life, and I'm 43 now, and I remember when Bridgeport was cool, and then it went to shit, and then it became cool again, and then Stratford started to go downhill, and now the whole, airport or air manufacturer plant shut down, so there's like this huge big swath of nothing. But yet, no, just talk about how rich Connecticut is, and how rich. It's a fucking trap. Connecticut's a goddamn trap. You either run the fuck out that bitch or you won't get out. There's no planning to get out of Connecticut. You can't plan that shit. You can't. I tried for 5 fucking years to do it the right way. But Connecticut just won't let you fucking go. I kid you not. That's the scary story of the night. Connecticut. Tax you to death. Fuck all the tax you to death shit. The place is just, it wears you down. It turns decent people who think that maybe they might stand a chance of getting a decent education. No. Don't believe that bullshit. The school system there suck. They're inundated with kids who don't really want to learn. Freaking my sister's a teacher. She says half her kids are on fucking ankle bracelets because they're on probation or parole. Connecticut hides all of its bullshit. See, up here where I'm at, you see homeless people. Tons of them. It's almost like being in fucking California. Never seen no shit like that in my life. California shit. Just went over there last year, as a matter of fact, around this time, a little bit before February, let's say. Northern Cali at that. Place called Livermore. Really ritzy rich. I mean, rich. The kind of money where, they flew us out there. I'll tell you a quick story. They wanted to hire me to do sales for them. They gave me the whole entire Northeast region. 9 states under my control. It's fucking wonderful. Great money. Couldn't complain. Fucking day they gave me the job, they wanted me to fly out to California. Like immediately after hiring me. I'm like, whoa. Chillax, dudes. I've been gone from my family for about a week. So I had lost my other job, and I guess you call it a midlife crisis. It wasn't a midlife crisis. I was just sick and tired of fucking working my ass off for these motherfuckers just to get fired every time they decided that they want to save some money on their bottom line. It's fucking COVID, bitches. God damn. I'm traveling for you motherfuckers, and this is thanks I get. Anyway, fly to California, going through Chicago, flying all over the place, back and forth on the BART, not taking the shit seriously at all. Don't care. Remember the first day we get there, right? They asked me, why did I Uber myself and all this other shit? I'm like, because you said, I gotta get where I gotta go, Yeah, they basically rolled out the motherfucking red carpet. Dead serious. We went to dinner, had a $400 glass of wine. $400 glass of fucking wine. And I can't even tell you what the fuck it tasted like. You know why? Because it was a $400 glass of wine. I couldn't even get over that shit. I'm like, who the fuck drinks $400 glasses of wine? Here I am being hired, flown across the country, and fed and drinking, and I'm having $400 glasses of wine with the owners of the fucking company. I was blown the fuck away because I was extremely rude in the interview. It's like they wanted me to do resumes and shit. I'm like, listen, goddamn it. All right, we did the application shit. We're talking here. You like what you hear. I could, do what your guys are asking me to do. What the fuck do I need to send you a fucking resume for? Like, why would I even waste my time with that? If that's what you need, then I guess we're done here because I'm not doing that. No more hoops. You guys get no more resumes from me. If you want a resume, then fuck your application. Not cramping my hand all that fucking writing. Fuck you. I got the job. Who would have thought? You know? And that was never hard for me. It was always easy. I could pretty much get any fucking job. Keeping them was the hard part. See, there was always something they would say. It's like, you're great at what you do. You're worth your weight in gold. You gotta learn how to kiss a little ass. I'm like, dude, my grandfather is a 4 Bronze Star awarded soldier from World War fucking II. I kiss no ass. That would be complete and total disrespect to that fucking man's memory. You must be out of your fucking mind. If we can't come to an agreement that I know more than you do, and you just happen to get paid more than me, and I'm gonna mention it because I'm mad. It's not like I'm gonna get your job, so why does it matter to you if I talk a little fucking shit as long as I'm getting my fucking job done? It's not professional. Yeah, the word professional. I find the word professional to mean phony as fuck. That's what I think. You wear these suits and ties to please who? Like who? I really don't give a fuck what you're wearing. If I call your goddamn helpline, you could be in a lace teddy for all I care. If I'm calling for technical support, I really don't give a shit that you're wearing a suit and tie. I don't understand labels and images. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest or worst minds in the world, depending on how you look at him, came up with nuclear fusion and fission. Then somebody else took it and turned it into a way for us to destroy ourselves in mere moments. That could be seen as good or evil. It depends on how you look at it. Me, quite frankly, I try not to think about things like that. Good night, Tanya. I'm getting ready to call in like 15 minutes. I've had a very long day, but it has been extremely productive and extremely great. Nicole, I'm telling you, if you're trying to get out of Connecticut, grab the most important shit that you can. Stack like a G or two and get the fuck out. Run, and run fast. Connecticut is gonna take a hit. It's going to, and it's not gonna be a good one either. It's not gonna be a good one. You know how Connecticut is. Taxes always seem to go like straight through the roof whenever some shit like this happens. I'm just wondering, how long are they gonna take before they start opening shit? You can't do anything down there. It's so fucking depressing. It's like a big, heavy anvil crushing your neck. Just sitting there, crawling, just crawling around. They keep you in these little circles, knock you here and they knock you there, tell you to sit down. And try to do things their way, and it just never seems to work. Taxes go up higher. You're not eligible for this, you're not eligible for that. Child support is charging me the wrong amount. Neither one of my kids live at home with their mother, but yet no, I'm still paying the same amount that I would be paying if they did. But I don't complain because they're my kids, Except for one of them, I just don't understand why, And if you try to change it, they'll just make you seem like you're a piece of shit. Like, well, you don't want to take care of your kids. Like, no, I actually do give them money outside of this and always have, but, like, why is my worth always judged by some dollars? What about the fathers that are there for their kids, all the time, or at least in a productive manner. And the only thing the mother wants from him is child support. But then when she gets the child support, oh, you're not around for the kid. Well, unfortunately, in the state of Connecticut, it's hard for a father to be there for his kids and pay the full amount of child support that is automatically garnished from your check. How do I know? Because I went through it. They can only take a certain amount when it's garnished. They can't take it all. They can take damn near all of it, but not all. They can leave you with like $150. Don't have a union job because guess what? Your union, they're not working with you. I had a union. I had 2 jobs. Had to get 2 jobs. Had to. I had no choice. Union dues would come out. Now, this is when I was just working part-time at, what was the name of the place? UPS. Now, part-time, it was enough. Only had 1 child at the time. He was a baby. It was enough. Then the ex says, I'm going to go after him for child support because he got married and had a kid. This can't happen. We're not going to have you be okay with this. So, now I got to pay child support. So I didn't care. I had already offered her $100 a week for the first kid anyway, but she thought that was not enough. They ended up giving her $120 for 2. So I guess I might have been right on schedule. Thank God she decided to be a dick and not take the one for the one, because I would have probably ended up paying $200. Anyway, my kids were always around me, so it was weird that I was paying child support for kids that stayed at my house most of the time, but I didn't complain. I just paid child support. But then I would get these notices and that I had to go to court. I'm like, failure to pay child support? I'm like, what are you talking about? You guys take it out of my check every week. I don't even have a choice. Well, you're not paying the full amount. You're supposed to go and then take more money that you don't have out of your paycheck and put it towards paying it. I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. Isn't that why you garnish my check? So you can take the amount that you are supposed to get by law? So I find out that it's not them filing contempt charges. It's her. And she has a job making 3 times as much in a week than I make in a week. So it's like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to ruin me? Like, why? So obviously, to pay the full amount of child support, I had to get another job. Because as it stood, I was only making about $85 a week, off on an off week, meaning the week I lost, they took my dues out of my check, $85 for a whole week. That's all I had from one job. $85. What the fuck am I gonna do with $85? Are you serious? I can't even fucking put back gas in the car. This is back when in Connecticut, gas shot up to almost $5 a fucking gallon. In fact, it was $4.95. $85. I worked in 2 towns over, 5 days a week. Dude, I was working to put gas in the car just to go to work. Talk to the union. They pretty much told me to go fuck myself. In so many words. Actually, they said it in a whole bunch of words. It was pointless. It's like, at the end of it, I just asked them, I was like, dude, I asked a simple question. All you have to do is say yes or fucking no. What is with all the goddamn bureaucratic bullshit? They didn't like my tone of voice. Needless to say, I was fired from UPS for getting smart with the mouth. But when you have a union, they can't just fire you. It's weird. You get fired, they give you discharge papers and everything, but then there's some kind of review. So until you can talk to a steward, you can still work with regular pay and all that shit. So it's like, it's just, for lack of a better word, it's like 2 guys who think that they're big shit and they're swinging their dicks around, the saying, trying to see who got the bigger one. And it's kind of like what it was. At the point I was like, I'm not even trying to be swinging mine. I'm just letting you know that I'm going to come to work until they tell me not to come to work. And if you don't like it, oh well, fuck you. I don't care. I throw boxes in the back of a truck very well. Or else you wouldn't have hired me and kept me here with all the shit that I talk. Shut the fuck up. Well, during this time period, I had to get another job. So I got a job as the assistant supervisor of machines and shit at a Goodwill's, Easter Seal, main office on top of it, main plant. We had this baling machine, make fucking bales of clothing, which were like literally, I'm not even joking with you, 1 ton to 1.5 tons. These things stood about maybe a story high, good 10, 20 feet. Huge, giant bales of used clothing. And compress these fuckers into these large cubes. And I'd drive them and I'd stack these things almost to the fucking ceiling, as high as I could get them. It's dangerous shit, because them things come toppling down, which they did one day. It was crazy, because this, like, metal strapping popped. Fucking clothes fucking everywhere. It was a huge mess. I didn't do it, thank goodness, and it wasn't because I stacked it. See, I was very good at what I did as far as this forklift. I'd nuzzle some shit in there, make it so like at the very top they were sitting on the rows where the space was, so that at the top you have the weight keeping everything together rather than all of them swaying apart as individual towers, which made no sense. Making it one big structure and it stands as one big structure until you fuck it up and it doesn't stand as one big structure. That's not the point. The point is, I was an assistant supervisor there. Now, about a year or two before that, I had been diagnosed bipolar, so I was on medication, but I wasn't taking my medication at the job. Needless to say, some shit got fucked up. I was the newest guy in there. The managers were doing something they shouldn't have been done. I knew about it, but I told them I was going to mind my own business. I was like, hey, look, I'm new here. I ain't saying shit. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Well, they didn't believe me, so before shit hit the fan, they made up some bullshit, and they got rid of my ass. They said because I was bipolar and didn't tell them about my medication that I was taking, that I had damaged some shit with the forklift. Like, number one, dude, HIPAA Act, you can't do that. But whatever, I don't care. So I left. Needless to say, it sucked. Because I got into a car accident working my ass off simply because the state of Connecticut decided that it was okay to take more than I could live off of out of my paycheck when I had another child and wife to take care of. So yeah, fuck Connecticut. Fuck Connecticut. You either run and don't look back. I've been gone from there 4 or 5 days now, I think. I don't even know. All I know is it's been the greatest. It's like a fucking vacation. Every time I come back to that place, I feel like I'm walking in mud, like quicksand mud. If I don't move fast enough, it's gonna suck me up to my fucking waist and I'm just gonna die. Suffocating. Ugh. The same shit every day. Same shit every single day. Every day. At least here I go out and walk around, even if it's just around the block. Different people, even if they're downtrodden and bummy looking crackheads and fucking heroin addicts. It's just tired of the same old shit. And Connecticut's the same old shit wrapped up in a shiny golden bag that says my shit don't stink, but it really does. It really does. But like I said, I want to do more ghost stuff if y'all want me to do more ghost stuff. I'm not saying I'm going to make pretend that ghosts are there. I'm not going to do that to y'all. My investigations, if you want to call them investigations, because they're not really investigations, it's going to be me walking around some shit that's scary and creepy, hoping some shit happens. But it's going to happen in the daytime. Right? Reason being, number one, these are very volatile times that we live in. Okay? I'm not taking the chance of creeping around in some place that says no trespassing after dark. A police officer thinks maybe I might be up to something, because generally if you're trespassing after dark in a dark place, you're going to wear black because you don't want to be readily seen. You're setting yourself up for disaster. And I'm not saying, oh my God, I'm not going to do this at night because I am black. No, it's not because about being black. It's about being in a place you're not supposed to be and cops being on edge. It's not going to matter what color I am. If I don't move fast enough or the right way, I'm catching something in my ass. Probably some hot lead, 40 caliber, maybe 10 caliber. I'm not sure what they use up here. I'm assuming it's more than a 9mm with the fact that everybody up here has got an open carry. And besides, who the fuck do you not know? Yeah, shit happens in these goddamn things. Like I said, there's tons of fucking homeless people and heroin addicts. I don't want to walk up on somebody, you know, prostitute getting banged out, nodding off and shit. I'm here to do ghost investigations, not fucking heroin addict porn film. You know, it's not what we're about. It's not a children's channel by any means, because my mouth is a bit like a sailor, but I've tried to tone it down lately, you know. I've tried to. I'm trying to be a little bit more considerate of those who are kind enough to come watch me. I don't want to offend any of you. But I must say that I am myself. I tend to be a bit off. I'm just off. I'm off. I don't want to be on. I've been on before. I don't like it. Sucked. Everything is normal. Everybody expects you to do shit that to me is crazier than crazy people. Like, why would you treat people like shit and think they're supposed to be nice to you? I don't get that. I used to do that and it made me miserable. I don't get it. I'm not doing it anymore. It's not happening. I'm going to do what I feel like doing. And you all know what I love doing, right? I love making fucking hot sauce. I love it. I love making music. Haven't done that in a while though. Left my keyboard behind. One of these days maybe I will pull it from the cesspool that is CT. Maybe. I doubt it very seriously. The only thing I really want to go back for are my 2 sons. And that's if they come with me. They made the choice. But it's open-ended. You know, I'm not the type of person who's going to say, oh, you chose your mother first, well then fuck you. No. The door swings both ways. But once you get here, I don't want to hear shit about your mother. You can visit her when you go visit her. I'm not going to stop you. But I don't want to hear about it. There's not getting back together, and there's no us. That's done. Finished. It's been finished for 5 years, but it's really finished now. It's totally finished. And I had to explain that to them the other day. They didn't understand it. You know, 10 and 13. Number one, a 13-year-old really doesn't get 2 shits. He's more like, you're going to make sure my Game Pass day is going on? How's this going to work, Dad? Because the Xbox is yours. Are you going to come back and take the Xbox? Like, what the fuck am I going to take the fucking Xbox for? What the fuck? I want the Xbox. Yeah, it's my Xbox, but I'm not a material person. I don't care. That's your mom. That you must get straight. They have to understand the difference between the two. I'm not going to teach him to be disrespectful. I'm not going to tell him not to listen to her. That's dumb. See, that's one thing about parenting that I've learned. Very hard lesson learned. Never tell your children to disrespect anyone unless there's good reason. You don't tell them to disrespect a person. Tell them to stay away from people. Because once you start telling children to disrespect those that they may or may not take as an authority figure, you fuck yourself. You fuck yourself hard. And I'm saying this to anybody, men, women, people who got mama, baby daddy issues or whatever. As much as you may hate this motherfucker, and unless he is dangerous to your child, or unless she is dangerous to your child, then rather than talking shit, go get your kids and do by law what you have the right to do. But, and I say this because I made the mistake. I did. That's probably why my oldest son doesn't like me now. I used to talk cash shit about his fucking mother. She'd do the same thing. We talk cash shit about each other. Every time he was with me, I'd talk cash shit about his mom. Oh, I'd talk cash shit. And she would do the same thing back. Talk cash shit. Oh, I'm not this. I ain't that. But see, the shit started with me, her emasculating me with him long before we split up from each other. It's just like nobody liked my rules. You know, I was strict. Do as I say, when I say. Not when you feel like it. And no, don't go to your mother. And sometimes she would tell me to do some shit, and I'd tell her, no. This is my house. You know, when we move out together, you want to have rules that coincide with 2 rules, and we make co-rules, then fine. But you moved into my house. These rules were established long before you moved here. They remain the same. You having a child with me does not change my rules. But she felt that it was supposed to somehow because she felt that she needed more authority in the face of children. Don't know why she felt she needed more authority in the face of children. And all she had to do was just let me do what I was doing, and everybody would have been happy. But no, power struggle ensues. And the split happens, and then, of course, the first thing she has to tell them is that I threw her out of the house because I'm just a mean person. I'm like, no, it's not why I threw your mother out of the house. It's not why. And of course, the questions come up, well, why did you? Number one, I didn't throw her out of the house. Technically, she left. Well, she says you kicked her out. Now, that I did. I kicked her out. I did kick her out. And here's why. You cheat on me in my basement. I let you stay there for 3 months because I'm being nice. I want you to find a place for you and my children since you're not going to let me keep my kids. So I'm nice enough to let you stay there for 3 months, but I give you 3 months. After 3 months, you have to go. You're cramping my style. We're not together. Why should you live in my fucking house? We weren't even married. We were supposed to get married. God damn. I would say I dodged a bullet on that one, but it's like I dodged a bullet and jumped right in front of another one. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, you got me. Oh, shit. I've been hit. Damn it, Johnny. I don't think we're gonna make it. But I fought hard. Came back from it. And then went through the same thing again, except this time my stupid ass. See, I think, and I'm not trying to say this to be mean, women, because men do fucked up shit too. We manipulate. We seek out women who have low self-esteem so that we can manipulate them. And I'm not saying I do, but I mean men in general. This is a trait of both sexes. Women do it too, but god damn, y'all can get your hooks in good. And a dude can know he's getting played, but y'all will just, there's like certain words. Y'all know how to fuck with a man's, you get in a nigga's head. I'm just gonna say it straight up. Y'all know how to get in a motherfucker's head. You know how. You know how to keep him just enough. It's like the heroin dealer. Just enough of that shit to have you don't want it, but you need it. I mean, I love women. I think you guys are some of the most beautiful things in the world. Like, the world would be so much more boring without you. And I'm not saying that I don't want a subservient woman. Who wants a subservient woman? Everything you say they do, they do. That's boring. I want a challenge, but I don't want so much of a challenge that I have to fight with you about everything. That's not fun at all. You know, man doesn't want to have to come home and this fucking mental debate immediately to walking in the door. Let's joust. Like, no. But you don't have to agree with everything I say either. And let's just both agree sometimes that one of us can be right about something in a certain way and the other one can be right about it, the same subject, right about it, but just in different ways. Or you have a difference of opinion and you don't have to kill each other for it. Or how about not lying to people? You know, straight up, just be honest. I'm an honest person. It doesn't take much for me to either care about someone or not care about someone. It's pretty simple. But it's only simple when people are honest. I don't like to play in the gray area. To me, gray leaves too much room for confusion. Confusion causes me stress. When I'm stressed out, y'all have seen how I act. I don't want to act like that. Nobody wants that. If I have to guess if my woman cares, that's too much stress for me. That's too much. And I can't understand people just not being real with one another. You know? If I do nice things for you, it's obviously because I care about you as a person. I mean, for anybody, whether it's nice things for a friend or nice things for a male friend, nice things for female friends, nice things for a woman I'm with. You know, if somebody does something, why does there always have to be a motive behind it? Now, obviously, between men and women, the motive behind anything when dating is to get to that point. Whatever mentally that point is for the both of you. Most people know what it is. A lot of times it's a physical thing. And with the way shit is nowadays, I'm really not sure how people do anything anymore. It's odd. I'm baffled. I miss the old way of getting girls' phone numbers and shit. Like, I miss that. You know, you went somewhere, you said, hey, you are attractive and you're cute because I can see you in front of my face. And if I was a creepy guy, I'd probably put my hands on you and touch you so I can know that you're real. But hey, can I have your number? Or maybe I could text you mine. You know, what happened to that? Now it's, you know, maybe you go on an app, maybe you don't. But the general thing that I've seen is you get like 50 fucking pictures either texted to you or emailed to you that you don't really want. Nobody wants a bunch of nude pictures up front. God damn it. Leave me something to the imagination. A pair of jeans and a t-shirt. nice pair of flip-flops, sundress, a little cleavage, maybe your back's out, a little short skirt just above the knee. Leave something to the imagination. I'm intrigued. I want to know more. But when you just throw it all out there, I'm kind of like, okay, well, now the only thing I'm thinking of is fucking. I don't want to talk to you. Now I want to know, okay, how quickly can we get this fucking out? Then the next thing is, oh, if you want more pictures, you have to pay me. Pay you? I didn't pay you for the 4 you just sent to me. Why would I pay you for other? Yeah, everything is money. Oh, phone chat sex. Pay me. For this, that. Pay me. I need a sugar daddy. Pay me. God damn it. Are there any real women left in the world? God damn. I don't know what's a bot, what's not a bot. It's scary, though. It's scary as fuck. I think maybe that's why I dealt with the bullshit for so long. Because even though nothing was happening between me and my fucking ex-wife, the point was, at least I didn't have to try to go do anything. You know what I mean? It's like weird. It's frightening. I'm frightened. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm not good at this internet dating thing. I've tried it once. I didn't like it. I don't like it. I want to go to a bar and meet people the old-fashioned way. Even this is normal, but you don't meet people on YouTube channels. That's fucking unheard of. And who would want to? You guys see I'm a crazy woman. I wouldn't trust any of you if you wanted to date me. I'm just joking. But this is weird. Doesn't it seem weird? Doesn't it seem strange? Doesn't it seem strange not to just be able to go to a party? You used to put on your best fucking outfit. Put your little cologne on. Make sure your shit's pressed. Got the new jeans you just bought. New shirt. Just rocking it. Feeling good about yourself. Bought the new chain. Got the Figaro Gucci link. Little earrings on. Got your eyebrows looking all your little slicing your eyebrow. Haircut done. New kicks. Socks, brand new. Clean. Baby powder. Poof. You doing it. Going out. Wow. With your boys. You trying not to, you got the smell of brand new. You remember that smell? Brand new sneakers, brand new socks, brand new hat. You remember that smell. Just specific smells. Like, smell like mall. I just got these clothes. There you are. You was dude like me. He was playing the wall. You know what I'm saying? Sitting at the table. Not really talking to too many people. I'm shy. I'm a shy person. I'm very, I guess, outgoing in certain ways, but when it comes to getting what I want, I'm a little confused because the signals that I get are always strange. It's never direct. It's always off. Maybe that's why I'm off. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all, Nicole and Tanya, and the few of you that popped in and out, or did not pop in and out, for coming in. I know it's late, it's 1:10 in the morning. Like I said, normally I wouldn't be up this late talking to you, but you guys came in, so I don't want to cut you off. Thanks again. I'll be here again tomorrow. I mean, where I'm at, I can do this shit every single day. Plus, I go live on Insta, so if anybody here wants to actually join in tomorrow's, hopefully it's warmer, investigation at the graveyard, well, I'd suggest that you tune into my Insta at No Order Without Chaos TS. That's No Order Without Chaos. T as in Tom S. And that's on Instagram. Yeah, I am definitely going to go live. I hope I don't run out of data. That would suck. That would probably suck. Which, if it does, then I'll just do the show on Monday. I'll just get some more data, or I'll get a new phone. Or maybe I might be able to do it with the GoPro, where I won't have to use too much data because I record it straight on the phone. I don't know. If I don't do it live, I will record it, and I will definitely stream it. Maybe we'll do it as a live chat or some shit like that. But I'm trying to give you guys more content, stories, whatever the fuck it is that you guys find interesting and fun and helpful, or not helpful, as long as it's not self-destructive to me. I am all ears. You can leave it in the comments. You can email me. No order without chaos. TS, that is Tommy Sam. No order without chaos. Tommy Sam. Not Tommy Sam the name, but TS is in Tommy Sam. You know how they gotta spell it out so you know that it's T and an S, as if you don't know what a T and an S is. But no order without chaos TS at gmail.com. And you can, say, hey, look, it'd be cool if you told a story about butt cheeks and baseball bats. And I'm like, okay, I'll figure something out. And I'll tell you a story about butt cheeks and baseball bats. Or you can say, hey, how about collard greens and pig's feet? Tell me a story about how delicious they are. And I'll tell you the story of washing the collards and mixing them with the custard and kale greens, seasoning them ever so slightly, water washing them, making sure that they're clean. No worms, no dirt taste. Nobody likes dirty tasting greens. They're disgusting. Pig's feet, hog maws, turkey necks, smoked pork necks. What's your meat of choice? Me personally, I like thick applewood bacon, sliced up in chunks, tossed in. Fat, delicious. Meat from the damn bacon, so good. But not as fatty and full in sodium as ham hocks or pig's feet. Not a big fan of pig's feet. Chitlins, used to love them shits. They were delicious. Hot sauce. See, that's where that's where the whole love of hot sauce for me started. Father, remember, he gave me hot sauce. Pretty much fed it to us. Hot, spicy stuff. It wasn't like hot sauce, it was cayenne pepper. That was always the great one. Fucking cayenne pepper. You get confused. There's cayenne, there's paprika. You had the different ones, chili powder. Not all of them are hot until they are. And then the red pepper flakes. He used to get us. I used to love it. He would get something that you drink, and he would somehow figure out a way to put something hot or spicy on it. He was always a practical joker, my dad. Yeah, practical joker. He used to get us. But I liked it, I enjoyed the whole spicy food thing. I still do to this day, which is why I love making hot sauce so much. It's just fun. It's I don't know, it's hard to explain. I guess if there's something that you really like doing, that you do and it's creative, and you create it, and then other people take they do it and they love it, and they love what you do, and it's like, let's say you make pizza, okay, and you make the best fucking chili cheese dog pizza in the world. It is the absolute fucking best. And you don't make it because you want to make money off it. You just make it because you love it. But people want to share in it with you. And obviously you can't give it away for free. That's how I feel about my sauce. I would give it away for free, but then I'm not going to be able to make any more sauce. And that would suck, because I really like making sauce. I want the whole world to taste it. I'm already planning sending it out to reviewers, so hopefully soon you guys will see some of my sauces being reviewed by other people besides myself. I'm pretty honest. I don't make sauces that don't taste good. I mean, I could sit here and lie to you and pretend that I don't think that I make good sauce, but my hot sauces are fucking delicious. You'll like them. I have enough goddamn varieties to please anyone. Besides the simple fact that I make them custom. I mean, who's ever heard of getting a goddamn custom hot sauce? You get a custom shirt, you get custom pants, you get custom cars, but you've never gotten a custom hot sauce. You gotta try it one day. Say, hey, Omen, I want a hot sauce with peanut butter and pickles, mayonnaise, a little bit of chocolate, and use a Scotch bonnet pepper. I don't want the habaneros in there. With a twist of jalapeno, please. And I'll respond to your email and I'll tell you, yes. But I'm going to require a 10% deposit, sir, because if you decide that you don't like what comes out, well, I'm stuck with a batch of hot sauce that I'm going to have to eat myself. And since I didn't think of the combination, I think it's only fair that you pay me to procure these ingredients that I otherwise normally wouldn't mix. Don't ask me to put in preservatives or additives or anything unnatural because I won't do it. My stuff is 100% natural. Fresh fruit, not frozen. Don't fuck around with that frozen shit. Who knows what it's been sprayed with? You gotta think about it. Fruit, especially berries, are usually wet. Or have moisture or dew. If you freeze them, they're going to clump together. I've seen them do this. Besides, when you freeze them, they lose a lot of consistency. So, it begs to differ that either they are flash frozen or they're dipped in fucking nitrogen. These are things I don't want in my sauce. I want my sauce to be 100% naturally delicious. Now, I spent $400 on a fucking additive once called dextrose or 1812. I used it before. I made pepper sauces before I made hot sauces. See, I made Caribbean style hot sauces before I switched over and decided to do Louisiana style because my family does have some Caribbean roots. So I said this would be cool to kind of try something different than normal hot sauce. But I didn't like it. There's just something about Louisiana style hot sauce that just can't be beat. And for those of you who are unaware, Louisiana style is like Frank's Red Hot or, McIlhenny's Tabasco. Some of the ones that we called pepper sauce. But if you smell vinegar, that's Louisiana style. It's Louisiana style. So there's so many different ways you can do it. You can ferment your peppers and fruits together. You can go straight fresh on them. Boom. Fast boil. Fucking process. Done. Strained, unstrained. Sometimes people take the strainings. I've done this before where you take the strainings from each batch and you put them together and you reboil and make a whole new fucking batch of sauce. Now, I shouldn't be telling you that. It's a secret. It's how sometimes I make Dr. Finger's Mystery Blend. That's how I'm going to make the next Chaos Rising. Yes, I have a flavor called Chaos Rising, the Spirit of Omen, the Blood of Chaos line, Blood of Apophis line, Shango's Tears. God, I've got to stop making hot sauce, but I can't. I can't do it. It's like me not making beats when I get my keyboard back. I'm going to be making music and hot sauce and making t-shirt designs that I will wear myself. Not sure if I'm going to sell them or not. I haven't really decided, honestly. I mean, if people want them, then fine. But I'm not, like, pushing these things. Like, oh, yeah, you got to get my t-shirt. No. Melly and Kilo got banging shit. Fucks with them. Now, I do want my bipolar people to start rocking them bipolar bandit tees. Now, I will push that. That I will push because here's my plan. I have to get it set up, so don't try to grab them yet. Wait, what I want to do, I want to set something up with a bipolar awareness group. Something that sets up maybe an online dedicated support group for, like, where somebody's always on for them to chat with. Not just some fucking 2-on-1 phone shit. No, some bipolar person is on. Maybe they need somebody too. But this thing would be kept going. This is one of the things that I'm thinking about doing. Is I think that any sale of the bipolar bandit shirt, I would, obviously I want a little piece of it myself, but I would like to see that at least 50% of the profit, not the total sale, of the profit, because it's got to make its money back so I can continue to do the same thing. But 50% of the profit would go to this bipolar awareness group or a bipolar awareness group, because it's for the bipolar bandits. Now, if I come up with the schizo set or another bunch of shirts for the people who also suffer other things, then that'll be cool, and maybe I will. But I'm gonna end the whole this whole live with a quote from the president of the United States, whose brain was blown out and only one ever tricked into riding in a fucking open cab vehicle right after having stopped the Russians from launching nukes at us, apparently. And how, I don't get me to lying to you, I don't understand it, but his quote, I believe in his inauguration, or maybe one of his State of the Union addresses, probably the State of the Union address, was, don't ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So, when you're sitting at home and you're thinking to yourself, God, I need that stimulus check, or I need something, think of things that you do. Think of what you can do for you or someone else. Because somebody might need that service. The only reason why we stopped working for ourselves is because they told us that we could not work for ourselves. They told us we had to work for other people because they came up with all this red tape, these rules and regulations, and you have to turn it into this, and you have to get this kind of number, and you have... Why do we have to? Explain to me why some fucking governmental branch that can't even keep fucking salmonella out of goddamn fucking peanuts at a peanut factory that was so fucked up it was ridiculous. How are they gonna tell me that I can't sell hot sauce? Hot sauce that has no chemicals. Hot sauce that is produced in a clean environment. Hot sauce that is made with natural ingredients. Why? When did these... Oh, like gangsters, they came in and said, hey, motherfucker, you're making food. And the food guy was like, yeah, I'm making food. And they said, well, you can't make any more food. And he said, why the fuck can't I make any more food? Because I'm the guy who you have to give money to say that you can still make food and sell that food. And then there's going to be some other guy who's going to say that he wants some money from you to sell your food and when you sell your food. Don't you see the fucking issue here? They set it up so that everyday people would get discouraged. Because number one, they're not making enough because they got to work for the fucking asshole corporation guy who won't give them enough. And then the red tape they want to make you jump through to get your own business, get a license for this. You got to open up a business account if you want to get business loans. Well, guess what? They have unconventional funding these days. Why do I need to go and get it from some old stuffy dude in a bank that wants to make me dance through hoops? I don't have to. That's the wonder of it all. So, do y'all, man. Don't ask what this country can do for you, but ask what you can do for you. Because right now, we can do whatever the fuck we want. Shit, I got out of Connecticut. If not for a few days, I got the fuck out of there. I really don't think I'm going back. I don't intend on going back. I don't know if I'm going to figure out a way to drag my ass back there, but hey, if I could do that, y'all could do this, man. Don't be afraid. Sometimes you just gotta jump. You gotta jump and hope like hell not that somebody else catches you, because you gotta assume that nobody's gonna fucking catch you. But you gotta assume that either A, when you land, you roll with it, and get your ass up, dust off, and move, or you hit the ground running. But you ain't jumping if you think you're gonna fucking fall and hit your face and die. So the whole fact that you jump means you feel that you'll survive. So jump. Take the chance. What's the worst that can happen? Get COVID? I got the shit. I ain't died, so ain't gonna die from that. And the worst thing that's gonna happen is you'll be broke someplace else. But I can say, at least up here, from what I've seen, there's jobs available, which means there's jobs available in other places. Or, like I said, fuck a job. What can you do? What do you do? What the fuck do you do? Whatever the fuck it is you do, do it. Whatever you do. Dishwasher, wash dishes. Start your own dishwashing company. Fuck, tell people, I'll wash your dishes for you. I got a COVID certificate. If you don't want to wash dishes, maybe go check on old people. Deliver food. I don't know, Uber. DoorDash seems, DoorDash with somebody for like a whole day. It was cool as fuck. Within 2 hours, they made like $70. Driving around, chilling, doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do. They actually delivered a fucking video game. It was fucking crazy. A fucking video game. Now, if I had a car, I'd probably do the same thing. But I'd just be doing me. And I'm done. It's almost 1:30 in the morning. I've gone on for like 2 hours. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank y'all for joining me, though. I'm going to try to do one early in the afternoon, preferably on YouTube and not Instagram, unless I do go to that cemetery. But like I said, people, if there's anything I want to talk about, you can either pop on my Insta and shoot a DM at me. It's No Word Without Chaos TS at Instagram, and it's No Word Without Chaos TS at gmail.com. Both of those will get you in touch with me. And we can talk more about whatever the fuck people want to talk about. Because, like you see, I'm in a good mood. Drinking, don't even need to. It's like so corny, though. Like, I feel kind of like a immature idiot child for having spent so much time acting like I got to drink to have a good time. I don't know if you guys had a good time. I enjoyed talking to y'all, and I had a really good time with the chili heads today. I mean, that shit was awesome. Dude ate a fucking 16 million SHU chocolate, and he ate the whole thing. If you don't know what that means, look up 16 million SHU. And you'll kind of get an idea for just how fucking hot. That's like 200 times hotter than the hottest hot sauce I make. And I make a fucking mouth burner that will tear your fucking lips off your face. Just like, give me those motherfuckers. You have no more lips, I burn them off. Oof. Good night, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Stop this fucking scary music before I have nightmares about that ghost girl from Valley.